Hello everyone, it's me, Babs, your favorite sonographer. I know it's been a hot minute since I've been here to talk to you guys, but I wanted to come on and make this quick video about how sometimes as a sonographer, you are a traitor, or you might feel like a traitor. So I've been working as an OBGYN sonographer for 7 years, and how I have worked, a patient will come in, either a GYN patient or an OB patient. Sometimes they come in with a guest, sometimes by themselves. So anyway, they come in, I scan them. Many times we get along, we chit chat. I don't tell them the results, of course, but things are going pretty well with me and the patient. But there's something wrong. With a GYN patient, there could be maybe tons and tons of fibroids, maybe there's a giant cyst, or if it's an elderly lady and she's there for postmenopausal bleeding, and then it looks like there's something all jacked up with her uterus that maybe she has cancer, but we can't really tell that through ultrasound. So of course I have to go and tell the doctor, and then the doctor tells the patient. Now, during those times, I don't feel like a traitor. I feel like a traitor when it's the OB patients. The other day, I had a couple come in. It was an anatomy scan. So the patient was around 19 weeks. This is when we check all the body parts of the baby. And luckily, I am able to look at the previous scans that she's had in our facility. So I saw that when she came in for her first trimester screening at 12 weeks, there was something wrong with the baby's profile. It looked like the baby had no chin. And I will insert the name of that abnormality down below so you could know the name of it and look it up if you want. So I thought, okay, good, there's something for me to watch out for. So if I see this, it's not a surprise. And this is a really good tip for all you new sonographers who are watching my video, for you guys to start doing if you have access to previous scans or previous reports. Look up what they had done, if they found anything, so that you could keep an eye out for those things. Because sometimes it's something that you're not going to catch unless you're looking for it. So anyway, I knew that I had to look at the profile. I mean, we always do when we do an anatomy, but I'm like, okay, I definitely have to look at the profile. The patient and her husband were very nice. They didn't want to know the gender. They wanted me to write it down in an envelope because they were going to have a gender reveal. And they were so excited. They were talking to each other. They were talking about the baby. I was telling them what I was looking at. But of course, I had told them that I can't give them results. I could just tell them what I was looking at in general. So they already knew that I couldn't give results and that they were going to get the results at the end of the exam. Well, the profile wasn't the only thing that was wrong with this baby. The baby had short limbs. The arms, the legs were very short, and it looked like the baby had clubbed feet. And that's when, let's pretend this is my leg and this is the foot. This is when the foot is turned inward. Obviously I can't do it because I have a normal arm, but it's kind of twisted inward and not normal looking. And not only that, there could have been other things wrong, but it was very difficult to see because the patient was heavy, and I don't know if she had put any lotion or creams or oils on her belly, but sometimes when you put those things on, it makes the imaging fuzzy along with being heavy. So there was a lot that I still couldn't see because of how heavy she was. But they were having a good time, and I was cordial and respectful and friendly. But of course, I had to do my job. So I'm there scanning, knowing that there's something wrong with their baby that may not be able to be fixed when the baby comes out. If it was only one thing, okay, but multiple things, that's a problem. So I tell the doctor. The doctor comes in, she tells them what we saw and explains what it could be, why it happened, and what her options are for the future. And she's scanning them, and it's dead silence. It's so quiet in there. The energy was completely different than it was when I was scanning, and I felt terrible. I felt like it was my fault, or obviously it's not my fault. I'm there to do a job, and this is why we're scanning, why we're doing ultrasound, so we could find something wrong. But I just felt like I betrayed them by talking to them or being friendly as if everything was okay, but it wasn't, and I didn't say anything. Obviously I can't say anything, it's not my job, but I did feel bad. And after everything was said and done, they were in there for a very long time, and when they did leave, they did not make eye contact with me. Obviously they were both very, very upset. And this is just one of those things where sometimes, even though it's not logical and it's very irrational, you feel like you're to blame, or even if you don't feel like you're to blame, the patient blames you because you just so happen to be the one to find the problem with their baby or with them if it's a GYN patient. And obviously this doesn't happen with just OBGYN patients. This happens with all sorts of patients, but I mentioned this specifically because the patients find out the results quickly, right then and there, if we have a doctor on hand. I don't know how it is in other places. A lot of imaging facilities where people go in for all sorts of ultrasound exams don't get the results that same day. They get the results from their doctor. The person who is performing the exam obviously can't give the results, and I don't know if there is a doctor on hand who does give them the results if they see something wrong. So I don't know if that applies to those specific places or those specific situations where you're not getting the results right then and there, but it can apply to other line of work when the patient is getting the results right in front of the sonographer. There was another time when I was scanning a patient. She was pregnant and the baby was smaller than it was supposed to be for the gestational age. And also we do a biophysical profile. That's when we measure for how long the baby practices breathing. We measure the fluid, we measure the movement of the baby, and that's pretty much it. And there's something called tone also, which is kind of like movement as well. The baby wasn't doing one of those things. So not only was the baby small, but the baby did not pass the biophysical test. And the doctor had to come in and tell her this, and she had to be sent off for further testing. And during that test, everything was okay. That's a non-stress test. That's when they hook up the patient's belly to monitors, to a monitor machine, and they monitor the baby's movement and the heart rate and all of that. I don't really know exactly, but that pretty much tells the doctor if the baby is in distress. And the baby was okay, great, perfect. The baby was still small and she still had to come in once a week, but ever since then she couldn't stand me. She did not want to be scanned by me. She blamed me for finding something wrong with the baby, which really, I chose her chart randomly. It could have been anybody. So anybody could have found this issue, and at the time the baby was measuring small. But her problem was I found something wrong, but the baby was really okay. Everything was not really okay with the baby because towards the end I think she had to be induced, and we pretty much like saved her life and the baby's life. And did I get a thank you? No. So this could be a thankless job sometimes. There are many very happy moments where people are very grateful and they're thankful and they come back and they show you the baby, or sometimes they might give you gifts. That's pretty rare, but it does happen. But there are a lot of people who just blame you because you just happen to be the one to find something wrong, even though that's your job. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry that I haven't been uploading as frequently as I would like, but that's how it is sometimes when you're a mom with a full-time job and just a life. But anyway, see you in the next video. Ciao!